Hello and welcome to Lawrence Live. I'm Dr. Sean Smith, Superintendent of Schools, and I'm so excited today as we kick off the 2017-18 school year. And of course, I always come with very, very special guests. Today, I start off with our Teacher of the Year for 2017 for the entire school district, Margaret Manuzzi, who is our Teacher of the Year. So welcome, Margaret.
Thank you, Dr. Smith.
Glad to have you here. Well, let's first of all, how does it feel to be our Teacher of the Year? Now, we got to tell the audience, just so they understand, we have roughly right at about 1,000 classroom teachers, and you are our Teacher of the Year. How do you feel about that?
It's pretty amazing. A little overwhelming at the first, but now that I have been able to be in the community as Teacher of the Year, it's been a really great thing to be able to represent Lawrence Township.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about where you're from and your career. You were Teacher of the Year at Indian Creek.
Yes.
And so tell us about your career.
Okay, so I have been a teacher for quite a while. I started out with Indianapolis Public Schools.
Yay.
Yeah.
All
Then I
right.
went to work for a not-for-profit and just missed the kids so much that I had to come back. So I have been the media specialist at Oak Landon and also at Indian Creek and now at Amy Beverly.
Right. Tell us what you're currently doing at Amy Beverly.
This year, I am part of the new D3 initiative, so I spend half of my time teaching fourth grade and the other time working as an instructional coach with the staff.
All right, which is fantastic. So, Margaret, you didn't tell us how long you've been teaching, but tell us that because that's something that's really important. How long?
This is year 24.
24. You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? 24 years of dedicating herself to children throughout. And so, as a classroom teacher, tell us your special recipe. How do you get students so engaged and excited about being in your classroom?
I think the most important aspect of being a classroom teacher is that personal connection with students and just getting to know each of them individually. You can figure out their strengths, their weaknesses, and what their passions are, and really working on those passions.
Right, and so you're really good at that. Let's go back to the beginning. So if we got people out there, young people who are thinking about becoming a classroom teacher, why? How did you get involved in it?
I was going to be anything but a classroom teacher. My mom was a teacher, my grandmother was a teacher, my aunt was a teacher, and I thought there's absolutely no way. So when I went to Butler, I went to get a degree in business and had the opportunity to substitute in my mom's school and fell in love with it and immediately went back and changed my major.
Right decision?
Right decision.
Absolutely. You enjoy every single day of it?
Love it.
Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Our Teacher of the Year, Margaret Manuzzi, who's currently a D3 team lead at Amy Beverly, has been teaching for 24 years, and she certainly represents the excellence in our township. Give us one more thing that you can tell the public about teaching and working in your school. What would you tell them?
Teaching's a difficult job, and it takes not just the staff in the building, but everyone in the community. So find a way to connect with your school, whether it's through Facebook, Twitter, volunteering, anything you can do to make it really a community effort.
And our children are worthy of our investment, aren't they?
Absolutely.
They are. Margaret Manuzzi, who is our Teacher of the Year for 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, I have more guests who are coming back to us. So we'll take a quick break and I'll bring more people to the stage. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lawrence Live, and I am here with two very special guests. To my left, I have Mr. Cameron McGrone, who is a senior, sir, correct?
Yes, sir.
At Lawrence Central High School, and representing the Wildcats at Lawrence North, I have Chauncey Mays, who is a senior.
Yes, sir.
And I'm excited because we are on the day in which these two young men will be playing against each other, and it's always a great celebration when the Bears and Wildcats get together. But gentlemen, welcome to Lawrence Live, and this portion of our show is really a special time because throughout the year I bring the stars in our school corporation, and that's our students. And today we're going to focus on our student athletes since we have a big football game. And so I have Cameron here. So Cameron, tell us a little bit about you. You're a senior. Tell me more about you, young man. What's going on this year at Lawrence Central High School with Cameron?
Before the school year started, I recently committed to the University of Michigan to further my academic and athletic career. And through this year, I'm just planning on just staying the books, keep my grades up, so I'm able to attend and hopefully lead me me and my team to state championship.
So University of Michigan comes call. I'm quite sure some others call. So that means you're a pretty good football player. Is that correct?
I'm decent.
You're decent. Okay, I like that. I like you being humble, but also means you're probably a pretty good student. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I like the sound of that. Hold that. Chauncey, tell me about you. Mr. Wildcat, tell me about you.
About the same as Cameron, just trying to stay in the books. Hoping to make a college decision soon. Mainly just trying to stay focused, win some games.
Win some games. I
Yes,
heard
sir.
win some games. Did you hear that, Cameron? He wants to win some games, but not tonight, right? They're not going to speak on that. Well, the beautiful thing about my job as superintendent, I get to root for both of you, and this is the toughest night of the year for me because I have to split myself between the two. But every evening, I'm rooting for both of our great high schools, and we're very fortunate in this school district, ladies and gentlemen, to have a plethora of outstanding student athletes. Every year, we have student athletes who not only excel on the field, but also in the classroom, which opens doors up for college scholarships. Cameron, what could you tell the students who are doing this show for us? What could you look out there and tell them in terms of preparation and what they need to do to become a college athlete?
All right. Well, you know, the term student athlete is very important. You know, student comes first. And in my whole life, in my household, excuse me, academics has been the basis of everything. You know, if I don't have the grades, I can't do what I want to do, which is play sports. So, you know, definitely take that more important, well, like, put more emphasis on the academics and athletics, because, like, sports will always be there. But, you know, if you don't have the academics to back you up, you know, if you get hurt or anything, then it's
Good point. Chauncey, what do you think about that? What would you tell them?
I think he hit it right in the head. If you don't have your academics, your sports career can end any day, week after week. Football is a physical sport, so injury is likely. So if you have your grades to fall back on, it's just another second option.
And I like what you young men are saying, the fallback, because there are a lot of us who were former athletes who you realize very quickly that that's going to end because your age and the physical pressure of playing any sports, but academics takes you longer. And so then you become a professional, you can do other things in life, and so that's so important to pass that on. But what are you two young men thinking about beyond football? Let's talk about your lives, and academics is going to lead to something else. What are you thinking about in the future, Cameron?
I'm thinking of being a physical therapist.
Physical therapist,
Yes, sir.
okay. What made you think about being a physical therapist?
Well, last year, the last game of the regular season, I tore my ACL versus Carmel. And through that rehab process, I kind of found a love for, you know, helping athletes back to what they were before they got hurt. So that kind of led me on the kind of physical therapy, kinesiology track.
That's a good profession. Definitely going to be needed because people are going to get injured, not just from sports, but any type of injury, and having that physical therapy is certainly something very important. Chauncey, you look like a nice young man. Well, you got up your sleeves. You got a plan, don't you?
Yeah, I recently discovered economics and entrepreneurship, so that seems like a great place for me to head for.
So you like to own the team, maybe like Jim Irsay owns the Colts or Jerry Jones, entrepreneurs like that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that sounds like a winner. Ladies and gentlemen, these two young men represent the excellence that we have in our district. I'm so proud to have them on our show. And as I said earlier, we're going to have other great student athletes that we have join our show, and as well as the other students in other areas in performing arts and academics who make this district what it is. Gentlemen, I'm proud to have both of you. I'm very proud of you. I will not make any predictions about tonight's game, but I will say it will be exciting, and our township will be on display tonight with full excellence from Lawrence Central High School and from Lawrence North High School. Good luck, fellas.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for coming on Lawrence Live. Just a second, ladies and gentlemen, I've got one more special guest for you, so please stand by. Welcome back to Lawrence Live, and our last guest today is Mr. Brett Krauser, principal of Lawrence North High School. He is also our 2017 Administrator of the Year for the Metropolitan School District of Lawrence Township. Welcome, Mr. Krauser.
Thank you, Dr. Smith.
All right, let me start off by saying when I think of principal, the first person that comes in mind is Mr. Krauser. He is truly one of our top leaders. He's dedicated. He's always very inquisitive. He holds his people accountable because he's the boss of Lawrence North High School. But Mr. Krauser, tell us, how did you become a principal for the students out there?
Well, it was one of those things where I honestly didn't think I would. my father was my high school principal.
That's tough,
And
isn't
it was. However, I respect his leadership and what he taught me. But I went in, taught, coached, felt like I had a great career going. And Miss Lynn Loopold, our principal at the time, came by and we'd done some supervision and other work around the school. And she said, Brett, I think it's time that you go and get your degree and think about it. And we were at a time in our life, my wife and I, we thought, yes, we could make that happen, and going down to Butler and being in that program for 2 straight years. And a job became available as soon as I completed that at Lawrence North. And so I got to stay at home. Miss Loopold offered me the job, and I became the dean of students for 1 year, and then moved up to our freshman school. I was in our freshman school for 5 years and learned from Dr. Steve Gagline, who was our principal at the time. And then when Dr. Gagline moved over to central office to be our assistant superintendent for secondary schools, I was able to step in and hopefully lead and continue the traditions of Lawrence North High School.
Absolutely. Well, Mr. Krauser, you are principal of a high school, 24, close to 2,500 students. You probably have a staff, if you take all the teachers and all the people, close to 200 people.
Yes.
How do you manage all of that, sir? How do you handle all of that?
You treat them as professionals. You treat the students as young adults. It's relationships. And yes, you can hold people accountable, but you have to be there for them. They're my family. Yes, I have my family at home, but I also have my Lawrence North family. And they're special. And we can have disagreements and we can push each other as a family, but we're still family.
Right.
And you treat people that way. And that's through your leadership. You've talked to us about, it's about people. And not just about programs. And when we have great people and you treat them as professionals, they will continue to do great things.
Absolutely. So you're a servant leader. You're certainly a passionate educator. You pull all that together for the students. Let's talk about the students at Lawrence North High School. Tell me about your students. What makes them special?
What makes them special is that they challenge everyone every day. And what I mean by that is they challenge us to get better. Our students want a great education, and we provide them with that. We also provide a great educational setting. And what I mean by that is at Lawrence North High School, if you're reading a piece of literature, you're going to get multiple perspectives about that literature in every single classroom. And I value the student's voice in our classrooms, learning from one another. And we're just a part of that as adults. Our students hold each other accountable, both athletically, academically, and in the performing arts. They want to be the best. And you can feel that in the hallways each and every day. And so our job as the adults is to let them grow. Let them become young adults. Treat them with respect. Show them that we trust them and allow them to just blossom throughout their 4 years at Lawrence North.
That's very passionate, Mr. Krauser, and you see why this man is our Administrator of the Year. I've got 80-plus administrators, but Mr. Krauser represents the excellence that we have in Lawrence Township at the highest level of leadership. Let's talk about the upcoming school year. What do you have up your sleeves? What do you and your staff have planned? What's a big initiative that you've got going on this year?
Well, we want to continue to get better. And one initiative that we're working on is with our Robert Marzano work and moving towards rigor. And what that means is we want more content complexity in our classrooms, and that's pushing students to the next level inside of content areas. But through doing that, we want to obviously have the student autonomy, not us telling them what they need to learn, but them exploring the learning. And that's what gets us to true rigorous curriculum. And so that's the biggest initiative going on right now at Lawrence North.
That's beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Lawrence North is in great hands because it starts with Mr. Krauser, our principal. He is in the building 24/7. He's there to serve the 2,500 students that we have. But I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best parts of my job is being able to work with 22 principals like Mr. Krauser. He just is representative of the entire group. But we have outstanding leaders that are in our district who care about their students. And so we want to thank Mr. Krauser for what he does and all that he does every day for the students. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for tuning in to this segment of Lawrence Live. And I can't wait to see you again as we will bring back outstanding students and faculty members here in the Metropolitan School District of Lawrence Township. Thank you and have a great day.